My next point is actually bullet point 1 under 3.1, which I think has been largely picked up by Ted Lush. How can Cheshire West and Chester Council improve its relationship? I think there's a sort of presumption there that there is some problem with the relationship if we are seeking to improve it. And I think, as Councillor Lush indicated earlier, from the parish's point of view at present, we are hopeful of that relationship, and so far we are not experiencing any problems in terms of the aspirations of the council, although there may be practical problems in how we deliver those. So certainly from the parish's perspective, it is a positive thing, and I would hope that we could look at perhaps replacing improve with develop, because I think we have made some very positive starts. Whilst welcoming this particular document that's in front of me for its clarity of language and not using the buzzwords of the current climate, the danger with doing that is actually you end up with a somewhat simplistic document, which, if we're not careful, could actually appear patronising. I am concerned about a couple of points. I mean, for example, do communities without a town or parish council want one? I would respectfully suggest that actually what would be more helpful is if the committee looks at what are the best possible democratic arrangements for local communities. And I'm recognising that that could involve parish councils or it could involve some other arrangements. But I think it implies a very sort of challenging point there if we're saying, do you want us, do you need us? Secondly, I'm a little concerned about the wording of the Quality Council bullet point as well. I think the issue here is what can Cheshire West and Chester do to support councils who wish to go forward for quality status, rather than perhaps the committee itself evaluating whether or not the quality status is a valid scheme or not. I think perhaps it's up to the parishes to evaluate whether they feel it's an appropriate scheme. But certainly, in discussions that we have previously had with Cheshire County Council and the old district councils, there was a lot of support there being offered for councils that aspired to quality status, because not least of which, irrespective of whether the council was looking to do service delivery or not, what it did do was pick up some points that councillors mentioned earlier about do they have proper officer support and do they have appropriate training for members. And the quality scheme, if it does nothing else, actually tests those things and makes sure that those are in place. So I would encourage you to go forward with the review. I hope to be part of that in the future, but I do think it might be helpful to spend a little more time on the wording of the terms of reference. Thank you.
Very much for that. I came here tonight with no preconceptions as to what we were going to likely to emerge with in relation to this particular item. And as I've been sitting here, I've said to Penny, I've had one brilliant idea, and then having listened to two or three more of you, I've had to change that brilliant idea. And I've got another brilliant idea, or at least I think it's brilliant. I don't know if Jackie's going to agree with me or not, because I'm going to ask Jackie to do a piece of work. Jackie, are you busy in the next month?
Hardly anything.
Oh, how about we ask you, if you'd be so good, it's a request, it's not a demand, it's a request. Could you come to our next month's meeting with as many ideas as you want to bring forward, but a plan whereby parish and town councils can be able to get their points across to us. So rather than us even attempt to set our terms of reference, I think it's a very important point to be made in that bottom up, and I think it's to the extent that we can, I think we let the bottom principles apply here. Could you come back in a month's time with your plan of action, as it were, as to how you think we could go about this particular exercise to best effect, noting the great number of parish and town councils that are within the area, the great variety that there is within them, the range, the skills, everything that's there, but actually turn it round to Chalk and to say, you come to us with the way you'd like us to structure ourselves in doing this particular process. I think the other thing that has come across very forcibly is I'd actually like to hear, probably in writing, because we simply cannot accommodate, I guess, is it 98 parish councils we've got, parish and town councils? It's some big number. Sorry, I told it might be 96. Well, forgive me if I've invented two more. But it's a huge number. But what if we actually asked each of the parish and town councils to actually write to us and actually putting their point of view across? So again, we've got that to be seen. And again, the timescale for that might be that we ask that be done by September, October time. If that fits, because I'm also very conscious just how slowly parish and town councils sometimes work, simply because of the absence of resources and the fact that effectively it's the councillors themselves who end up writing the particular documents. Jackie, how does that strike you?
The short answer is I would be delighted. I just want to clarify one thing, and that would be the terms of reference of the committee. What I have in front of me has been debated a little, and it would appear that it was likely that you were going to change the wording on this, and I think that's quite important.
So in terms of reference, they were just doing suggestions. I'm happy to leave this thing in stasis and actually say we will come back to this issue and literally turn it over to you. I think you get the understanding that members really want to understand more. This council wants to understand more about its parish and town councils. It wants to have the most productive relationship it is possible to have. Local democracy is important to every single one of us in this room, whether it be at very, very local level or at borough-wide level. And it's a matter of fostering that in the best way. And I don't think anybody around this table wants to be the big brother telling the parish and town councils what to do. I'm more than happy to see the requests emerge from the other end. And I also want to see parish and town councillors on our scrutiny panels and co-opted to work with us, not just in relation to parish and town councils, but in relation to other things that we do too. Because we have got a lot of wisdom, as you've already realised tonight, in terms of what goes on.
I think that is an innovative and new way of working, and I would be happy. I would be happy to bring back a paper for the 16th. Is it 16th of July? 16th of July.
Bearing in mind we have the local gentlemen of the press. It's your turn. How many gentlemen of the press would like to talk to us tonight? Is there two of you?